Let's talk about like why Call Me Mother is such like an important show that sticks out above other shows, other drag shows.
Oh yeah, Call Me Mother is amazing, and it really like sticks out from all the other shows out there right now, all the competition shows, because it like, in my opinion, is the show that has the most heart. The show that really like embraces everybody and embraces the fact that our differences really are what make us strongest. Like even though our experiences on the show were really short lived, I have never met a grouping of drag performers that is as supportive as the ones I've met on this show.
Yeah, I think we represent such a diverse cast, like kings, queens, things. So to be representing what not only is such a diverse spectrum of drag, but to be representing like Canadian talent at its fullest, like it is such a fucking honor. And honestly, season two, bitch, I remember all of us walked in. I was like, fuck you, bitches. Like, fuck you, bitches. Everybody came to fucking win this competition. Like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
crazy.
I
And I mean,
totally
like,
agree with
yeah.
what. Oh, sorry, I
No,
totally
go
agree
ahead,
with
go ahead,
what
go ahead.
Kingchella and Champagna have said. And like watching season one of Call Me Mother was the first time I watched a drag reality show. I was like, oh my god, I could fit there. My art could fit there. And as someone who's not trying to be a drag queen, I'd never felt that before. So it was like a no-brainer auditioning for season two because it's showcasing what I think is the actual drag scenes that we all work in.
Mm, yeah,
And
because drag is more than just feminized, like men impersonating women. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
non-binary people, there's trans people. There are so many different identities that I think drag is much more than what mainstream media thinks it is. Like, as soon as I walk out the house, or as soon as anybody walks out the house and they give cunts, bitch, that's drag.
absolutely. And there was also 15 of you. Like, what was it like going into that workroom and literally seeing how many drag artists were there?
The way I was like, I'm gonna knock him down. I'm gonna knock him down. Watch me knock him down.
Yeah, I was crazy. Like, first of all, walking into the competition, I had this mindset of like, I'm gonna win, first of all, but then I got eliminated. Anyways, but like I thought of everybody as a fucking competitor. Like, I didn't see them as like friends or anything. But then, like, although we were there for like 5 seconds, like, those 5 seconds, I was like, fuck, these are people with like emotions and stories and purposes, and like, how can I look at these people as like my competition? Like, 15 fuckers and we had to go home. Like, are you stupid? Are you dumb?
It's so true. My first thought about 15 was, oh my fucking god, there's so many of us. There's too many of us. But then I like took a step into like took a second to step back and think about it. I'm like, okay, this is 15 queer people who get even a moment to tell their story, or 15 queer people that someone can look to see someone that's like them. And that's really special.
Yeah, yeah.
And how did like so with like there being 15 people, how did you handle like the pressure of being on a show like this?
Personally, I went in so confident. I didn't feel any pressure at the beginning. I was like, it's a talent to get me to a house. That's easy. No pressure at all. But obviously, the result of the first episode isn't quite match how confident I was. So maybe it's delusion, or maybe I've just done the mental health work that makes me believe in myself now.
Or a little bit of
Well,
A, a little bit of B. Honestly, like I feel like
exactly.
all the pressure, like by the time I got to the competition, like I was putting so much pressure on myself just to like meet the expectations of the package that was given to us. So once I got there, I was like, oh God, I can breathe. Thank God.
And I mean, I feel like especially with a show like Call Me Mother, when it comes to winning or being put in a house, like in this type of show, like being eliminated first or whatever, doesn't really, it just means that you're like too unique to fit in any one of those boxes, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what I said.
Any construction criticism.
yeah, yeah,
No,
That's
yeah.
literally
like
what I
very,
said. As soon as
very.
I got eliminated, I was like, bitch, I'm too good for this.
It's very much that though. Like I left feeling like, okay, I still really like and love what I do, in this like weird mix of burlesque and drag, and it wasn't quite what one of those three artists was looking for. But I still love what I do, and a lot of people that come to my shows love what I do. So I shouldn't feel shitty about myself as a drag artist.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
too, it was like just what a great opportunity to showcase ourselves, you know? No, like thank God each one of us are all like so we know who we are. So like the elimination wasn't that big of a deal, right?
That's what I was like. Literally, we've talked about it, like especially on the car ride home. Like, I think our cast is so strong because of everybody brings something so different and so unique. Like our cast, it just like season 2 is fucking iconic, and we're gonna put this shit on the map. Like I'm telling you, bitch, you're gonna see this fat ass. You're gonna see other fat asses. Like
burlesque and stuff. Do you have any advice for those? Like, you have so much body confidence. Like, do you have any advice for those struggling with that?
I feel like confidence has totally been a learned thing. And like, I know the privilege of the body I walk around in every day, but genuinely, it's just been no matter what I feel like about my body every day, I want to put my body on stage and be a burlesque dancer. So, like, even if I'm feeling shitty about myself, I can go out there, get naked for a crowd, and embrace that love coming back at me if the love isn't coming inside of me. That's a statement. Not love coming inside of me. Oops. I promised you the top. But I would just say, like, give it a go, give it a shot. Who gives a fuck? All these ideas that we can't show our body are put on us by society, and the three of us showed our bodies, and we look fucking fantastic.
losing is a new winning, bitch.
You know.
And Kingchella, like you also very, very unique kind of drag. Like your performance was just like nothing I've ever seen before. Like what's some of your like what you consider to be your drag inspiration?
Bitch, first of all, it's nothing you've seen before. Girl, why didn't I like it was so unique. I thought of this so hard. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that did like a spoken word ish piece. Everybody else did like performances. So to come out just like being myself was one of the things I definitely wanted to show. And the thing is that being a big bitch, people don't think you can turn looks, but it was chic. Like what I was giving was villainy, darky, grungy. So to be such a like adjust, ooh, what's the word?
Juxtaposition? Is that
Thank
what
you.
you're saying?
Yes. To be such a juxtaposition.
It's just the position.
Thank you. Yeah. To be such a like a cunt, but also such a stupid idiot was just, I don't know. I remember leaving that talent portion, like being like, I killed it.
Yeah.
You did. And like also like so you're from Ajax, Ontario, right?
Yeah, small town Ajax, bitch, Durham region, bitch.
Listen, you are talking to the queen of Ajax, girl.
Apparently, but like it's like that's iconic to like claim that, but like I also don't want to claim it because there is, I feel like a drag community, but also growing up in a small town, like bitch, I didn't know this shit existed until like I moved out at the age of like 21. Like to go 21 years living in a small town without acknowledging or having any queer spaces is absolutely nuts. And I'm fortunate enough to have my own residency and a place where I can highlight and showcase the queer scene in Durham, because the only place that is like booming that's like a hot pocket for queer spaces is Toronto. But bitch, I don't got the funds for that. Bitch, a $50 Uber all the way to Toronto. Are you dumb? And then back, that's $100, girl. I could be spending that on shots and shit.
Listen, you can take a GO train.
And full face? Never. Listen, I'm
Go Train needs to sponsor you.
Oh my god, sponsored by Go.
Yep, Metrolinx. I
love
the queen of Metrolinx.
I love Brady
Make it happen.
Your seats are comfortable. Your Wi-Fi is great.
Okay, and then Champagna, in the first episode, you talk a little bit how like before coming onto the show, you'd kind of lost your love of drag for a while there. Do you mind talking a little bit about like what made you kind of lose that love?
The pandemic had really gotten to me by that point, and like Zoom drag just was not doing it for me. I realized how much like I feed off of audiences, and like knew you were kind of saying that earlier, like you could not feel so great about yourself, but then go do a show and then feel amazing afterwards. And I was like 2 years of none of that. Like, love you long time for coming to see my shows online was not my thing, and was like very trying for me because like just performing to a computer screen was not doing it. And then, I hadn't had a job in 2 years. So that's where I was coming from during Call My Mother. But it's been great now. Things have reopened. Like, I've reconnected, I think, due to the show. Like, thank God. Like, the gratitude of being on that show, like, really reminded me of what I'm capable of. And how needed drag still is in the world. And just like, sometimes when I'm in my own mind, I forget that I make such a huge like importance. I'm an importance in other people's lives, make a big change in other people's lives, and like we all have our part in the revolution. So I thought, like, well, great, I have my love for drag again.
I love that. That's awesome. And what would you say that I mean, kind of feeding off of, I feel like you kind of just answered that question, but for Newfoundland and Kingchella, like, what did you learn about yourself during the experience of being on the show?
Girl, humble yourself. Girl, I don't know, like in all aspect, bitch, mental health will come up and creep up on you like it's nobody's business. That thing's a reoccurring thing. Even if you feel like you're here, bitch, you're gonna get knocked down and go but it's also from that it's like how you go boom 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 boom,
Yeah.
how you build yourself up. Because after like being eliminated, it was so weird because one, being on reality TV is a fucking whirlwind. And the post-production dip, like it hit, and it was like entering the competition, I was there, I was that bitch, and then I just went, I don't know anymore. So yeah, humble yourself all the time. And also, you know what? If you do have moments of feeling low, remember everything that you've accomplished. Like, I feel like, especially for like me and Champagna have had conversations of like, yeah, life sucks and fuck this and fuck that. But then like if we look at our repertoire, like Champagna is such a fucking legendary icon in the West End of Toronto. And like me doing drag for who knows how long, like, do you see this light hitting me?
Yeah, I do. It's good.
They're beautiful.
Me being like, I just basically started doing drag, and like to be on not one but two television shows, and then also Newfoundland. Like, I remember watching you perform in Toronto back when they were doing the Absolute Ball.
Oh my God, you saw that?
Yeah.
I wasn't even doing drag then. I was barely wearing makeup.
I just want to run off what you just said for a second, Chella. Like, the whole like building yourself, like there's no such thing as failure. It's just how you like build yourself back up again and what you learn from it. And like reminding ourselves that we like of our accomplishments is so important. Because I think that like as queer people, or just society in general, it's like really easy to focus on what's not happening instead of the good things that are happening. So like I love that you said that. That's great.
I'm trying to think of what I felt like I learned about myself there, because it was such a quick little jolt of time. It's hard to place, but I can say that as someone who, like, I don't know, has social anxiety on occasion, gets a little stressed out meeting new people, the ease of connection with everyone right away felt so affirming. And also having a disappointing turn on the show and not feeling like a complete piece of trash from it, like I talked about earlier, having done that work on my mental health over the last couple of years, it was less learning and more affirming that I'm in a better place now, my late 20s, than I was in my early 20s.
I also learned I had a fat ass, according to Newfoundland.
You learned? How did you not know?
The first thing Newfoundland said to me was, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, Chella, but you have a fat ass. Like,
I thought I said your ass is out of this world.
oh,
But who
perfect.
knows?
Even better. Even better. I guess you'll see when I get eliminated.
Really, all three of us.
And then I mean, obviously it would be great to be in any of the houses, but did you picture yourself in a specific house?
Bitch, the way we all got eliminated, I was like, we could have been a house.
Yeah,
The
we're
three
our
of
own
us.
house. We don't need a mother.
Girl, I got eliminated, and the whole time I'm like, no, this is a joke. This is a joke. There's gonna be somebody popping out of this fucking tent. Like, there's no way. There's gonna be a fourth, like, mother or something. There's absolutely no way. So, you know what? I'm my own house. That's it.
We're gonna get our own clack fans, and they're gonna say House of Nudity.
Her.
I mean, have you ever been in a drag house before or anything like that?
I guess I kind of have. What is this face? I can't. I know it's a reaction to Champagna. You want to talk first?
Go, you're talking. Don't let me.
Oh my god, don't. I guess I've had like a bit of a drag family and a bit of a burlesque family. Like I'm part of Burlesque TO, which is Canada's premier burlesque troupe. They've been doing burlesque in Canada for over a decade, and that's kind of how I got into nightlife performance, was starting working with them. So like that was my home in that kind of performance, which eventually led to me getting into drag.
Bonnie, your turn, bitch. Spill the tea,
I need to
sis.
hear this reaction.
I was rooting for you, Kingchella. What about your drag house?
Girl, I said I'm part of my own house. The fuck? I'm that
God.
bitch. Listen,
Lol.
I'm gonna come
Yeah,
back
I
for
was in a
season
house
3,
before.
season 4.
Lol, I was
Huh?
in the House of Filth for a few years, and it was cute. I think like my biggest learning lessons about being in a house were like surrounding like what community means and what support means. So yeah, houses are cute. You just got to make sure that you are holding space for important things rather than like the drama of it all.
I also feel like I should mention that I was a part of a group called Rebel Gen, which won Absolute Empire's Ball Season 2. I can't mention Burlesque TO without mentioning that. And Rebel Gen was all trans, non-binary, drag kings, drag things, gender performers, and burlesque. So that was also my home in drag.
That's amazing.
Wow, and the Absolute Ball, is that something that happens every year?
It started, I think, in 2018, and then obviously took a pause for the pandemic, but I competed in 2019.
I don't know if it's back.
No, it did come back this year.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's been
awesome.
3 seasons now, but the second season was won by a team of entirely non-drag queens, and I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's great. And then one of my last questions is like, what advice do you have for those who want to like do drag but don't necessarily want to be on a TV show? Because I feel like there's this whole thing about like if you want, the only way to do drag is to be on a TV show now.
I mean, it's definitely like it is a thing. But like you just got to do it for yourself. Ultimately, at the end of the day, even if you are on a TV show, like I think drag is an expression of who you are, and no matter how, if you're not doing drag because you don't want to be on a TV show, eventually it will find a way out of you regardless. So just go do it, go have fun, let it be like an expression of yourself, and you'll only learn beautiful things about yourself. You don't need to be on a TV show to enjoy drag.
You can let go. I talk too much, bitch.
Okay, no, you talk so beautifully. What am I trying to say? I think we have to consider like the percentage of drag performers who've been on TV versus the percentage of drag performers in the world is so drastically different.
We are the 1%.
We are the 1%. Oh my god, no.
But am I the only one that doesn't feel like that though? I feel like there's still so much drag.
There's so much drag outside of people who are on TV.
Yeah.
And I feel like you got to start drag for the reason, an expression of your own artistry, and not just because you want to do drag a certain way to get on TV. Like I started doing drag in a way that I thought would never get on TV because I'm not trying to be a drag queen. I'm not trying to tuck. I'm not trying to shave my beard. And somehow I ended up on TV, but it was never in my thought process when I started doing this.
And like honestly, if you are starting to drag just to be on TV, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Like
Shit.
those are some wild expectations to put on yourself.
Yeah, the PTSD is real, girl. Be careful.
I mean,
Little
like,
bit,
I feel
little
like, yeah, I feel like even the last 5 years, like, drag's just evolved and like it's just growing and
Oh
changing,
my
and like,
god.
there's so many amazing performers that are going with that. Like, I just think it's so cool.
It's not even just like drag artistry in itself, like the whole drag scene in general has changed. Like from consumers to like Patreons to like interacting with like businesses, like so much has changed in the last 5 fucking years, bitch. It's crazy.
And like I can speak to doing drag in Newfoundland a little bit, where we have less queer spaces and less queer people, but getting to do drag shows in towns of like 5,000 have been some of the most amazing experiences of my life. Like Call Me Mother was incredible. I'm so happy to have done that and have this relationship with all these artists. But doing drag for a queer teenager who lives in a town of 5,000,
Yeah.
that's everything to me.
Crazy. It's like to be the representation well, for me personally, I don't know if this resides for anybody, but to be the representation like you never got growing up, and to be like it's still like that's
Yeah.
I mean, we are like, you are icons. Like, I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Say that again. Say that again, Joey. Say that again.
Yeah, sorry, I
You're
didn't hear
all
you.
icons. I said you're
Okay,
all
great.
icons.
oh, so sweet, Joey. Thank you.
I mean, I guess that's all my questions. But I mean, like, what are you guys hoping that, like, what are some of your next steps? I guess what's happening? What's next?
Okay, well,
Everyone speak at once. Goddamn.
Oh my god.
Lol. Well, I just finished filming a TV project that I've been working on for 13 years that I created. So in the spring, keep your eyes out on OUTtv for my series. It's 12 episodes. And
it's on TV?
Yeah, it's on OUTtv. And AMI, so it's gonna be called Womb Envy. So you can check that out in the spring. And then you can also come to my drag brunches in the meantime at Lula Lounge in Toronto. They are so much fun.
Lula Lounge.
They're so fun.
I will definitely be going to that. I need to do that.
Yeah, they're wild. It's like, yeah, I mean, Kingchella, you've come to them. They're so wild.
Girl, that's where the money is.
The money is a drag brunch. It's a thing.
Yeah, I love performing.
I have to go.
People.
Every time I pass like the Lulu Lounge, it just looks so cool. Like, the big lights.
It is. It's so wild.
Hear amazing music and performances going on in there. Okay, I have to go.
Do you live in Toronto, Joey?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go to Lula Lounge. It's actually so dope.
They're really amazing. Like for years, like I've lived in the West End for years, and I'd always like walk by and like peer in, and I'd always be like, oh, I want to perform there. And like performing there is great because it's like just a different vibe than most spaces that we all perform in. And like, yeah, they're this amazing, like I think they're one of the most diverse bars in Toronto. I wouldn't even call them a bar. They're like a really beautiful venue. And like you can go on like a Friday or Saturday night, rent a table, eat like dinner, 3 courses, and then they'll teach you how to like dance. And then when a live band comes on afterwards, you can salsa dance. And it's like, it's so much fun.
So fun. Oh my God. And so what's Womb Envy? What would you consider like the quick like log line for that?
Quick log line. Oh, okay, so kind of like
elevator pitch.
Well, this is the like 17th floor elevator pitch, okay? So it's about a party gay approaching his 30s who's like kind of sick of the like scene when his estranged best friend from high school shows up on his doorstep and is like, hey, remember when I was your beard in high school? Well, I'm calling in the favor because now I'm pregnant and I have to figure out how to tell my born again in recovery mother that I'm pregnant out of wedlock. So while I figure out how to do that, be my baby daddy. So he agreed. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully that comes out in the spring. That's awesome. I can't wait for that.
Oh my god, yeah, I can't wait for you to see it.
It's gonna
I
be
can't
great.
wait to watch.
And Kingchella, what's next for you?
Just living and being an icon, shaking ass and making cash.
Yes.
You can also find me on social media on Instagram at Kingchella, same with TikTok at Kingchella, and on Twitter at Kingchella with 3 L's.
Yeah. Check out her episode of One Queen, Five Queers too.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gonna be more things coming, but you know what? In due time, bitch.
Ugh.
And
Newfound
My
that?
turn. I'm planning on doing a little bit of traveling this fall. Before doing drag, I was a touring burlesque dancer, so I had burlesque connections literally coast to coast in the country. So I'm gonna try and do some burlesque shows in Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton, Halifax. Like, I'm gonna take the time to do that and see episodes in other city while they're happening and see contestants outside of the context of the TV show, which will be really nice.
Yeah.
And the other exciting thing, kind of outside of my drag world, but I got my first ever Canada Council for the Arts grant. And me and my best friend are going to make a full length contemporary dance meets burlesque piece and present it next fall in Newfoundland.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I learned how to write grants in the last year of my life, and it
Oh my
honestly helps.
Don't we all need
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. It's a
As a
lot.
full-time
It's a lot.
artist, you got to do it.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me. I can't wait for the show to start and see what's next.
Yay, thanks, Joey.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joey.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.